All right, for example 2, we're going to be graphing y equals x squared minus 5. Remember that we are graphing nonlinear equations, so these are going to be equations that are not falling on a straight line when we graph their ordered pairs. So they've given us our x values, or what we call our domain values, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I always ask that you do at least 2 negatives, 2 positives, and 0. And unless there's a fraction, I typically suggest -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. In this case, we're going to complete the whole table that they've given us for this example. So we're going to plug in -3, and we always plug in our x values inside parentheses. So -3 squared minus 5. This is -3 times -3, which is 9, minus 5 is 4. So my first ordered pair is -3, 4. Then I have x squared is -2 squared minus 5. Again, -2 goes inside parentheses, which means we include the negative when we square it. A negative times a negative is a positive 4. 4 minus 5, I would have to use my copy, change rules. 4 minus 5. And add the opposite. So 4 plus -5, signs are different, so I subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value, which is -1. So my second ordered pair is -2, -1. Then I have the quantity -1 squared minus 5. -1 times -1 is +1 minus 5. I use copy, change, or adding the opposite. And 1 plus -5, signs are different, so I subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. Keep the sign of the higher number, or the number with the greater absolute value, which is negative. And my next order pair is -1, -4. That means that when x is -1, y is equal to -4, according to our equation. 0 squared minus 5, 0 minus 5. We add the opposite, or copy, change, and 0 plus -5 is -5. So my next order pair is 0, -5. 1 squared minus 5. This is 1 minus 5. I copy, change, or add the opposite. Signs are different, so I subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. Keep the sign with the number with the greater absolute value, which is -4. And I have 1, -4. Then 2 squared minus 5 is 4 minus 5. Add the opposite, or copy, change. 4 plus -5 is -1. And my ordered pair here is 2, -1. And my last ordered pair, 3 squared minus 5 is 9, minus 5 is 4. And so my last ordered pair is 3, 4 for my last ordered pair. Once you fill in the table, now we just have to take our ordered pairs and plot them on the coordinate plane system over here. So -3, 4, -1, -2. I'm sorry, that shouldn't. It was -2, -1. Sorry. So this point is plotted right here, and you should be using pencil. So hopefully you're just able to erase. I'm gonna have to use some white out here. Oop. Yeah, they might not be able to do that just in this moment. Let's try this one. Okay, so white that one out. -1, -4, 0, -5, 1, -4, 2, -1, and 3, 4. You'll notice that I've got symmetrical points here across the y-axis. This is a nonlinear function, so it is shaped like a U, which we call a parabola in math. I'm going to do my very best to connect the lines and extend my graph, my lines outside of the coordinate plane. Once I have my line, my little nonlinear, it's not a line, our nonlinear function graphed here, I'm going to label my points. -3, 4, -2, -1, -4, or -1, -4, 0, -5, 1, -4, 2, -1, and 3, 4. I'm going to label my points. I'm also going to label my line with the function y equals x squared minus 5. And then the last thing that we're going to do for this example is explain how is this different from example number 1. So I want you to write your own sentence for the difference between this example and this example. Their shape looks the same. They both have this U shape, which again we call a parabola. A parabola is a result of an x being squared typically. So when we have x squared, we have a parabola shape when we graph it. It's a nonlinear function. But what I want to know is how is it different? So yes, it has the same shape, but how is it different? Hopefully down here you've written something about them being on the crossing the y-axis at a different point. If you haven't, I want you to write that in right now. Even though I'm not going to write it in, I want you to write in that these two graphs cross the y-axis at a different point, which also results in different points here. But they do have the same shape, so that's important to note. So again, even though I'm not writing it down, you should be writing it down right here. What do these two things, how are they different?